In a small village, there lived a young man named Aryan. He was plain to look at, but his dreams were too big. He always had some new desire in his mind. Sometimes he thought he would open a small bookstore. Sometimes he would make beautiful things out of bamboo. And sometimes he would build a big house for himself. But the Aryan had a strange habit. He used to tell everyone what he was going to do before he started it. He would go into the fields, into the marketplace, and into the square, and declare his program before everyone. One day he stood in the midst of the village and spoke, "I will open the nicest bookstore in this village." The people smiled and listened to him. Some clapped, some said, "Very good idea." Aryan felt very good. He felt as if he had only just done half a job. That night he was very happy. He also fell asleep quickly, but when the time comes to start work next morning, then his mind became heavy. The eagerness of yesterday had disappeared somewhere. The days passed, but the shop didn't get off the ground. A few weeks later, Aryan had a new dream again. This time he thought he would learn the art of bamboo and will make beautiful decorative accessories. Then the same thing happened. He gathered the people of the village together and spoke, "I will make very beautiful bamboo things. The whole district will buy things from me." People praised him again. Somebody said there were Aryans. "You're so talented." Someone said, "You're sure to succeed." Aryan's mind was lost again. But a few days later, his enthusiasm had cooled. He didn't touch the bamboo. The work didn't even begin. The same story played out for many years. Aryan would put up every new idea in front of everyone. People would be glad to hear what he had to say, his admiration, but her life would remain the same. He was starting to break inside. He couldn't understand. That's why he stops in the middle every time. One evening, he was sitting alone by the old pond in the village. Just then an elderly person came up there. He was greatly respected in the village. They spoke little, but their words were very deep. He asked, sitting down beside Arya, "Son, why are you so sad?" Said Aryan, taking a long breath. "I have many dreams, but I couldn't seem to finish anyone. I'll start, then I'll leave." The elder asked in a quiet tone, "When a new thought comes into your mind, what do you do then?" Aryan immediately, "I'll tell everyone. I like it when people praise me." The older man smiled faintly. "Come with me tomorrow morning. I want to show you something." The next morning Aryan arrived with them at a small garden. They were ordinary guava and lemon trees. The elder had the seeds in his hand. He gave a seed to the Aryan and said, "Plant it in the soil." Aryan dug the small hole and put the seeds in it. Then the old man picked up the second seed and snapped, indicating the children playing nearby. "Look, kids, these seeds will grow into a big tree very soon."
The children were delighted. Some clapped, some smiled and praised him. Then the elder one. He laid the match on a stone. The days passed. The seed that was pressed into the soil. The old man used to water it every morning. But they said nothing to anyone about her. Arya Rose would have gone to that garden and watched. Slowly a small green copse emerged from the soil. She began to grow day by day. On the other hand, the seed placed on stone remained just as it was. It continued to dry in the sun. The air kept touching him. The birds kept coming at him. And in a short time that seed was worn away and finished. A few weeks later Arya had. The seed that was dirt is now a small plant. But the stony seed had disappeared. The elder said, looking at Aryan and pointing, "Son, a seed needs peace to grow. Into the darkness. Inside the soil. It has to be safe. If he is left in the open and just talked about, then he dries up. He could not become a tree." Aryan Chopra's eyes landed on that small plant. He understood for the first time what was happening to him. The elder continued, "When do you talk about your dreams too soon? So the praise of people makes you feel that way. As the work is completed, your mind is satisfied. Then the energy is low for the real work. The strength that is put into words must be put into deeds." Aryan's face flushed with shame. He understood. He considered himself successful every time he heard a compliment, while the real work remained unfinished. Said the elder, laying a hand upon his shoulder. "Dreams need security at first. Make them before you show them. Let them grow up quietly in the soil of his own endeavor. Son, a seed needs peace to grow. Into the darkness. Inside the soil. It has to be safe. If he is left in the open and just talked about, then he dries up. He could not become a tree." Aryan Chopra's eyes landed on that small plant. He understood for the first time what was happening to him. The elder continued, "When do you talk about your dreams too soon? So the praise of people makes you feel that way. As the work is completed, your mind is satisfied. Then the energy is low for the real work. The strength that is put into words must be put into deeds." Aryan's face flushed with shame. He understood. He considered himself successful every time he heard a compliment, while the real work remained unfinished. Said the elder, laying a hand upon his shoulder. Dreams need security at first. Make them before you show them. Let them grow up quietly in the soil of his own endeavor. When they are strong, then people will see for themselves. Arya bowed her head in thanks to them. That night he made a decision. This time he won't tell anyone anything. He thought that he would construct a small wooden table. Nor did he announce it in the village. No one called. No compliment expected. He sat behind his house every evening. Started working the wood. Never tires of her. Never mind. Was there ever a mistake? Sometimes pieces broke, but this time, no one seemed to know about her plan. So there was no pressure either. He just kept working quietly. The days turned into weeks. Slowly the table began to take shape. Aryan made a mistake. Then again. Weakness comes from taking over again. He kept learning over and over again. Finally, one day, the table was completed. When he touched her with his hand. So he had a different solace in mind. This was not that happiness, which gets met with applause. This was the satisfaction. The joy one gets on accomplishing something with one's own hands. Next morning his neighbor saw that table. He said in surprise, "Aryan is so beautiful. When did you make it?" Arya smiled a little. "I had been working on it for many weeks." The neighbor asked in surprise. "You didn't even tell anyone," said Aryan in a quiet tone. "I wanted to finish this first." Gradually the whole village began to talk about that table. The people came, saw and praised him. But by then the Aryan had started on his next task. This time he made a wooden chair, then a small stool, then part of a wardrobe. He would work silently every now and then. And only when the work was complete did it bring him to the front. The years passed. Aryan had now become the most skilled craftsman in the village. But he never lost a habit. He didn't tell anyone his plans beforehand. He would only show his finished work. People were now swayed by what he said, not by his work. His words are few, but her hard work said a lot. Aryan's life was completely changed. Now he didn't need the praise to get him started. Now she didn't want the false pride she got from just talking. He had found true happiness, something true by working quietly, and the joy of building stronger. Now just think of your own life. How often have you made a goal about? First he told everyone, and then he left the work in the middle. How many dreams have you fulfilled in just a few words? But not in taxes. From giving up dreams too soon. Their energy is scattered. Keep hold of your dreams. Let them grow up quietly. Give them time in the soil of their toil. The world doesn't need to know what you're thinking. The world just has to see this. What have you created? So next time a big dream comes to mind. So first let's turn him into work. Stay calm. Work hard. Allow the seeds to sprout in the soil. When he will be a strong tree, then there would be no need to tell him. He will himself be visible to everyone. Learn, not with words of your dreams. Be made strong by deeds. When the work is finished, then your success will speak for itself.